First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now. As always, appreciate you joining us here starting every weekday at 1 p.m. Pacific. We cover all kinds of topics on this show. Today, though, we're talking about something that, well, you've probably already seen a lot of the deals. I'm talking about Black Friday. The deals start way before Friday now. It seems like weeks in advance, but so do the scams that go along with that. And that means that people are trying to take advantage of you, of shoppers, of everybody out there, no different than any other day, but certainly it seems like it's ramping up this year. And that's why we're going to talk about this right now. We've got Pete Nicoletti from Checkpoint joining us. Pete, always good to have you here on the show. It's helping just to educate people and understand what some of these dangers are that are out there. And just to be aware of it, I feel like is one of the biggest things that people can do.
Well, yeah, I want to take it past education and I want to really save people some money because that's what our research is pointing out. We're seeing, it's terrible how the attackers, the bad guys know when we have a combination of two things that their exploits are going to be successful. And that's a sense of urgency, which is Black Friday, right, Greg?
Right.
So we have people watching and looking for shopping deals. And then a perceived relationship with you. So when the attackers combine those two things into a highly targeted phishing email, which doesn't cost them anything to create. We have artificial intelligence tools now the hackers are using to create millions of emails with these two targeted focuses, sense of urgency and perceived relationship. And people are falling prey to them. And it's unbelievable how lucrative this is for the attackers. So I've got a lot of ideas that we can help educate your viewers, and we're going to prevent them from being scammed today, Greg.
That is great, and that's one of the the big things is to stop and think about it. I mean, I know I've certainly been guilty of this. You see a Black Friday deal of something maybe that you've been waiting for. It's like, okay, this television, you got to click right now and get this. I mean, it's as simple as it seems not to do that. A lot of people do that. It can happen to anybody.
They do. And Checkpoint Research is pointing out, and you named one of them, the shopping sectors. The shopping sector is right there with delivery services. So your DHL, your FedEx, your UPS you're expecting a package, right? Don't click on any of those links at all. You got to go to the source. If you bought it through Amazon, go to Amazon and look what the delivery status is. If you know it's coming through UPS, put the tracking number into their website. Do not click on any shipping or what our Checkpoint Research is also pointing out is luxury brands. You just mentioned TVs, but what we're seeing is these three hot ones, Rolex, Ray-Ban, and Louis Vuitton. Your viewers are, everybody wants a great deal, right? It used to be the Nigerian prince was trying to hand out money. Well, now it's Louis Vuitton at 90% off. And my wife bought a Neverfull. It was $2,600. I wished she bought it off of a cheaper website, but she spent $2,600 and by golly, this is her third year using it, she tells me. But who wouldn't want to save % off a luxury brand? And that's what the hackers and the phishing guys are doing. And here's the thing, Greg, an end user is not going to be able to tell the difference between these crafted emails and a real email. They're using the logos. They're using, these brand impersonation tricks that fool even the most sophisticated users because the spelling might be off one letter or it might be customer service-louisvuitton.com, which is not really a Louis Vuitton website. But as a standard end user, Greg, you can't tell, you don't know. So the only way to get those deals is go directly to the website, go directly to the retailer, go directly to the shipping store and work with those relationships directly, Greg. So that's that's some quick advice right there that's going to save somebody money.
Yeah, I mean, especially, you're getting so many emails that are coming through and they are so good at that. What you mentioned there, just saying maybe something like customer service dash Louis Vuitton, for that example of it, or just slightly changing one thing from a 0 to an O, that maybe or vice versa, that you're not going to notice. I mean, it's really, really hard to tell some of that stuff.
The Russians are using Cyrillic characters. They're using characters that look like our characters, but are from a different character set. But you're able to create a domain name and use that to fool normal tools. The other thing, Checkpoint has tools to prevent all this stuff. We have a free tool that your users can download called Zone Alarm. And of course, the commercial and government users use our big enterprise grade tools. But here's the problem, Greg. It's more than just the domain names. The domain names may be plausible, and even an expert can't tell that it like we just gave that customer service -louisvuitton.com. But here's the other problem: when the websites look so totally identical, the only thing difference is the phone number. And the phone number, you're calling into a call bank that's a bunch of hackers there taking your money. So, the website might look perfectly identical, very hard to decide, but the phone number is not registered correctly with that company. So only tools like, the enterprise grade Checkpoint are going to be able to find that. End users, you can't click on those links, can't respond to those things. Don't be fooled. Go directly to the websites, and you're going to be able to, save yourself from some money and embarrassment.
Do you recommend, with all the email blasts that come out right around now from, and including legitimate ones that are coming from the brands, but it can be so hard to tell the difference. Do you recommend just avoiding clicking on any of those and just go directly to the website of whatever the company is that you're wanting to shop from?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Greg, absolutely. Go directly to the website. Ignore those domain names that are provided, those links that are provided. And you have to understand, these are sophisticated cyber criminals that are monitoring the efficiency of their phishing campaigns. They know which logos and which links and which ways that the emails, they know what the corporate emails look like, and they're mirror imaging those corporate emails. They'll register their product, they'll get the email registration, they'll see the format that it's in, and they'll craft it, and then they'll track which ones have the highest efficiency of people clicking on the links, and then they'll watch how the people proceed through either adding their money or registering it or downloading some malicious code, whether it could be ransomware, it could be selling them counterfeit products. But they're as sophisticated as our most sophisticated e-commerce sites. They're watching for efficiency, they're watching which ones work, and then the cost of it is so inverse. Their offense costs so little, and what you have to do is spend money on defense. So, and the other issue, Greg, that we didn't really talk about, the Checkpoint research is also pointing out, is the rise of artificial intelligence used by these scammers. And there's two areas, Greg, that Checkpoint research is pointing out like a huge spike. It's in the code creation of 0 days and in malware, and also the phishing email creation. And here's why, Greg, because we overpost socially, right? We post where we're going, we post what we're buying, we're posting the things about our cats and our dogs' names and our grandparents' names. So all this information is leveraged by the attackers and the people that are creating phishing emails. They're taking that overposted social media information and previously hacked information, whether it be healthcare information they hacked from your hospital or your government agency. They're combining these two bits of information, and they're creating these highly targeted phishing emails that you absolutely assume are correct, whether it's, hey, you just had an operation in a hospital and you owe $50 more for 2 aspirin, click on this link to pay. They know that you just were in the hospital. Or they know that your cat's name is Edna and your grandmother's name is Christine, and they're going to send you a targeted phishing email mentioning those things, and you're going to say, well, they obviously know me. that sense of urgency and exploiting the fact that they think they know you, those combinations are just tricking a lot of people. And artificial intelligence is making it worse for us as far
Wow.
as trying to defend against it.
I mean, that's so these are probably hacks from multiple different times, different places where they got information from one place, a hospital hack or casino or something like that. They get all that and then they use the AI to match those things together and just create a virtual data bank about you, a virtual database about you.
That they can leverage to hack you. Yes, that's absolutely
Wow.
right.
That's wow, that's out there. So the bottom line of what I've learned here is don't click on any email links that are coming through because they're that good that you can't tell. Anything else that you think people should specifically watch out for with this time of year, with all the shopping that's going on?
Well, yes. Make sure you're going to the right URL. That uniform resource locator, that's the website of the domain you really want to go to. What we're seeing also is if you do a search for a particular brand, there's companies out there that are spending money with Google and the other search engines to have their URLs placed higher than the actual brand. And you'll see a little teeny ad name next to the URL, and that URL is whatever it's going to be. It could be an authorized reseller, or it could be somebody that's just using the brand equity to sell counterfeit goods or alternate goods or whatever. But really look to make sure you're going directly to that domain name, because who wants to be fooled in buying something that might be inferior or something that's really not the brand name. So really be careful about that. Make sure that they have HTTP, PS, the encrypted, the lock in that domain name. Don't do anything on a domain name that is not encrypted, because your conversations are open and that website doesn't have a certificate to encrypt their communication. So, that I know that's a little bit of a complex topic for your viewers, but just look for that lock in the domain name and make sure it really is the domain name when you do a search. Those are a couple more ideas for your viewers, Greg.
Well, Pete, thank you very much for sharing those. And I think it's important for everybody. And I talk about these, when we do these kinds of segments, explaining it out. One, if you're sitting at home being like, "Oh no, I would never fall victim," don't be surprised. They're really, really good at what they do. And when we talk about what you meant what you said at the beginning, sense of urgency, and the deal that's going on, and all of that's happening, and the comfort that you would have by looking at some of those emails, it's easy to fall victim. But there's also other people who are probably in our lives as well that could use this information. So for that education side of things, feel free to share this with other people too and let them know. And Pete, final thing for you too.
Right, right. There is one more point that I want to make.
Oh
You
yeah.
just nailed it. Share this information with your elders.
Yeah.
If you're a teenager kid that's hyper connected and knows the internet and is savvy, or you're a savvy adult, talk to somebody that's a little bit older, because what we're seeing is elder abuse in this area. And Greg, it's really something that bothers me, elder abuse and veterans abuse,
Yeah.
because we see elders falling to these more, they're preyed on more, they're going to lose more, and they're super embarrassed about it. So talk to your mom, talk to your grandparents. If you're the expert, use that level of expertise for good. Share it in your family. Around Thanksgiving dinner, Greg, have
Yep.
it be a topic. Make sure that somebody doesn't lose money. You don't want to have an embarrassing story. Hey, grandma blew 15 grand of our inheritance by clicking on a link,
Right.
or grandpa, thought he had a Corvette in Hawk that he wanted to pay for. And by golly, he's a Corvette collector. And that really made sense to him. So I hear about these stories all the time, Greg, and you really brought up a great point. Share this knowledge with your grandparents and veterans during your Thanksgiving Day dinner.
Yeah. Totally agreed. Pete, thank you very much. Always appreciate your knowledge and insight, and you joining us and sharing that with everybody. Have a great Thanksgiving. Also. Oh, I think.
Thank you. I've already started. I've already started.
All right, see, there you go. There you go. All right. All right, Pete, good to talk to you. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Greg. Bye-bye now. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, and exactly. So for everybody out there, like Pete said, share this, let other people know about this because this is important stuff. I mean, it's really easy to fall victim. Cybersecurity hackers are really, really good at what they do, and so it's important to stay vigilant and understand what's going on. All right, we have more coming up here though for Fox 12 now. So appreciate Pete and Checkpoint Software for them being on here. We're going to be talking to Bumble actually coming up here in just a little bit. A representative from Bumble for Friends has teamed up with Butterball to create something that is going to help people make Friendsgiving happen. So we're going to get into that here at about 1:30 p.m., depending on when you're watching, if you're watching live. And then we will come back. So that's about 10 minutes or so. So if you're watching on social media, you're going to see this video end. We'll be back on at 1:30 p.m. And you'll see another notification pop up. But if you're watching on the website or the apps, we're going to continue on. We've got some more news for you. I've got some video stories from around the country. I've got some animal videos. We got a few different things going on. So we'll do that in the meantime. So website and apps, I'll talk to you in a minute. If you're on social media, I'll talk to you in about 10 minutes or so. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.